Today we're going to talk about what movies and TV get wrong about love. So one thing that movies get very wrong about romantic love is that they confuse and also make us confuse drama with passion, excitement, intensity. And this makes a lot of sense for movies to be that way, because if there wasn't any drama, if there wasn't a problem, people wouldn't watch those movies as much, because it's very exciting for us to watch dramatic relationships. I mean, stories are all made up of building up tension, this climax, and then the ending. So they have to have lots of drama. If they want to be successful, they have to put lots of drama in the movie, which is why movies very often portray toxic relationship with lots of drama, but depict them as being romantic. In fact, I've got this kind of hypothesis that it could very well be that there's a correlation between the amount of drama that comes from within the relationship or outside of the relationship, and how healthy the relationship is, as in that I think those movies that have lots of drama from outside of the relationship, from the circumstances, that the relationships in those movies are probably the healthiest. Whereas obviously if most of the drama doesn't come from outside of the relationship, then in that case the movie has to have lots of drama in the relationship to make it interesting for viewers to watch. And because movies want it to be very exciting and want to show lots of passion and intensity, they also very often obviously portray love bombing, which is a manipulation tactic to make sure that they give you so much affection and attention in the beginning that they have more power and more control over you, so that when they do treat you badly and when they do try to control you, that you put up with it because of all of the work they've put in before to make you attached to them. A great example of someone love bombing someone else is in How I Met Your Mother, Ted Mosby trying to get Robin by love bombing her with these insanely grand gestures. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that Ted is intentionally trying to do that so he can treat her badly, even though I do think that there definitely are people out there who do that. But I think there are lots of people who love bomb that really just are too in love and idealise the other person too much, and then unfortunately treat them badly later on because they're so disappointed because they notice that, oh, what a surprise, the other person isn't perfect after all. And because they thought so highly of them, once there's just a tiny mistake, they're already so disappointed because their whole image of this person being perfect is shattered. And then unfortunately, even though they didn't intend to do so, they treat them worse because of that. I think that also exists. So I think there are also some people who engage in love bombing who don't do it because it's their intention to manipulate or to control, that they just are way too in love with the other person, and that because they're way too attached, end up treating the other person badly later on out of fear of losing them, and that's why tend to be controlling. So I don't think all people who love bomb are these malicious, evil people who just want to manipulate others. I think there are also some who sincerely do think that they love the other person so much, even though it's not them that they love, just the image they have of them in their mind. And that there are also some people who do bad things but don't have the worst of intentions, even though they're love bombing someone, which isn't a nice thing to do. And then another thing that is portrayed as being romantic in movies that isn't romantic at all is possessive and jealous and controlling behaviour. So, for example, back to Twilight, because Edward is pretty toxic. There's a scene in which Bella asks him, where Edward basically saves Bella from a group of men that were trying to harm her. And then when Bella asks him how he knew that she was there in that moment, he agreed that he had followed her, which should be a huge red flag, and it is. But Edward excuses this by telling Bella that he follows her all the time, or a lot of the time, because he feels protective of her and because he wants to make sure that nothing happens to her. And it's portrayed as a romantic thing in the movie, but it's extremely toxic. And jealousy is often portrayed as a sign that you want your partner so much, or that you want someone so much that you just get extremely jealous because of that. That it's a sign of wanting and desiring someone so much. However, wanting and desiring someone a lot isn't the same as actually loving them. However, true love isn't wanting them so much. It's more wanting what it is that they want for themselves for them. So true love, in my opinion, would be not being jealous, or not being too jealous, because of course if you love someone you are going to be a bit jealous. But if you truly love someone, just to be clear, I'm not talking about the phase in which when you're already in a relationship. I'm talking about the phase before you're in a relationship with someone you think you love. If you truly love the person you think you love, then you would, if it's really selfless love, then you would want them to be in a relationship with someone who they love more than them being in a relationship with you, because you would care about what makes them happy more than you would care about your own happiness. So in my opinion, true love is wanting what it is for them more than anything else, even if that doesn't include a life with you. Unfortunately, in some cases that's the case. Even if it means them being with someone else who they love more and that they think will make them happier. If you want to watch another video on how movies have light us about what is romantic and what isn't, you can watch this video here.